Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today we're doing a video about Binance. That's right, Binance US and Binance Brazil, all the different arms of Binance all around the world, and strategically Brian Brooks has quit. I say strategically because he said there were strategic differences, and that's always a term that you say when you're really quitting an employer because you're fighting or you can't come to an agreement with the employer, with the partner, with whomever you're working with. There's strategic differences. Yeah, he quit after 4 months. Brian Brooks was the CEO of Binance.us, since Binance in the United States is a little bit different than pretty much everywhere else, and it's mainly down to regulation. But if you're not familiar with Brian Brooks, we have to go a little bit back. So first of all, he announced on Twitter on Friday afternoon that he's resigned as Binance US CEO. This was just after 4 months on the job. Usually at other jobs, 4 months is something you could put on a resume. But as a CEO, it's a little different because you're expected to stay with a company for a longer period of time, hopefully. I mean, if something's just wrong with it, then yeah, you have to leave, and that's fine. But as a CEO, you're the head honcho. Now, maybe you're not Changpeng Zhao, the owner, the actual CEO of the entire, Binance Corporation, but it is still one of the most important positions in all of America for one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges. Sure, in America, Coinbase is a little bit larger, but this is a pretty powerful position. And for someone to resign after 4 months, that's a big question mark. What's going on here? So it was confirmed in an email because people thought that he was trolling on Twitter, maybe that he was hacked. He was not hacked. Brooks cited differences over strategic direction between him and his colleagues. Now, he was a regulator himself. He held the office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, the regulator for national banks under the United States American government for President Donald J. Trump. So that is a pretty important position. So he was a regulator, a financial regulator, and Binance hoped that with him becoming the CEO of the U.S. arm, that maybe it could help with their regulation issues. For example, the regulatory bans that have happened in the United Kingdom and in Japan. So Brooks' hiring appeared to have been a strategic move by Binance, but, didn't really go that well, I guess. So something else happened. There was also last month an unexpected departure of the director of Binance Brazil, and his position was only around for 6 months. So both of these scenarios are bound to raise questions. Hey, what's going on here? And are these really moves that could help with regulation now that both of these gentlemen have left their positions? So we're going to see about that, I guess. Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume, and its various subsidiaries have only intensified in their rapid growth. So this is pretty crazy stuff. I'm telling you, Binance is becoming the Amazon of the world because Amazon's expanding into all these countries. Same with Binance. It's going to be the largest, most powerful cryptocurrency exchange out there for the next 10 years, as long as everything gets put into place, which I think it will. I mean, they've got the money, they've got the power right now. So Binance CEO, the actual CEO, Changpeng Zhao, CZ, said he is confident in Binance.US's businesses and its commitment to serve its customers. Brooks' departure, CZ added, would not affect Binance US customers in any way. Neither he nor Brooks elaborated on why they parted ways. There's no word on a successor, even an interim one, either at the moment. Brian's work for Binance.us has been invaluable, and we hope he will continue to be an integral part of the crypto industry's growth, advocating for regulations that move our industry forward, Zhao said in a separate statement. We wish him the very best in his future endeavors. Now, this could actually be a legitimate statement with some, maybe not heartfelt feelings, but honest feelings. Hey, he is a regulator. Maybe things didn't work out, and hopefully he's able to still help the cryptocurrency movement in some other way, whether it's working with another company or whatever he decides to do. We wish him all the best. And I've had actual employers, both in cryptocurrency and outside, where they've really cared about their partners, about the executives, about people who are working at whatever level it would be, whether it's a low-level employee or someone higher up on the ladder. They just cared about them, and even if things didn't work out, they wish them all the best, and there we go. Sometimes you get a nice little package, and woohoo, you got some money out of it, you got some experience, you go your separate ways, and that's that. There's a lot of people who think, oh no, work sucks, it's terrible, there's so many bad jobs, and there are, but sometimes when you start getting to jobs that actually are changing the world, even if it's a tiny percentage, but it is changing the world somehow, in cryptocurrency you are, because as long as you're not working for a scam, you actually are part of a company that is trying to do some good for the blockchain world, and then yeah, it feels good to be a part of something like that. You're all kind of on the same team. Yeah, you're trying to make some money so you can end up paying the bills for, what your life and whatnot. But it's not just that, it's more than that. And in his position, someone who is so high ranking, he's actually able to do a big difference, not only in terms of money, but whatever policy. I mean, he's not, he's not working for the OCC anymore, but whatever policies he might have put into place, he might have inspired other people. And if he gets another powerful position, which I think he might, then, there might be some other elements that fall into place. Now, it's going to be interesting who's going to be the interim CEO or who's going to replace him. So I'm sure they're not going to try and hurry this process. That's probably why they haven't released a statement yet, because this is a pretty powerful position. Now, this well-wishing was a little bit of a contrast compared to the way Brooks' predecessor, Catherine Coley, departed Binance US. The exchange didn't even mention her when it hired Brooks in April. So during his time as acting comptroller of the currency, Brooks pursued an aggressively crypto-friendly reform agenda and met often with members of the digital asset industry, from corporate CEOs to bleeding-edge entrepreneurs, from DeFi, from cryptocurrency startups, and that's a good thing because we need more people like that in the government. There's still some naysayers and people who don't believe and say, oh, it's a scam, oh, we need to regulate it, oh, yeah, for example, one of the top stories today is, as soon as you reload it, Gensler's SEC is the same old SEC. The SEC chief's speech this week on crypto regulation proved that hopes for a change of policy at the regulator may have been wishful thinking. So yeah, there's some people still out there that don't care at all. They want to regulate it as much as possible. And usually what I've noticed is these are traditionalists who don't want to open their minds. And in many cases, they're kind of old. They've been, around on this planet for 60, 70, 80 some odd years. And they like the way money works, and they don't care about cryptocurrency. Some don't even have smartphones because they don't want to learn. I mean, for example, Warren Buffett, he's a great investor. He's a multi-billionaire, one of the world's richest men. But he was born in a completely different generation, and he's approaching 100 years old. Slowly but surely, he's approaching 100 years old, and he does things a little bit differently. And maybe he will never understand cryptocurrency because he refuses to understand it, because this man supposedly still does not have a smartphone and he doesn't really use a computer. We're talking about one of the world's richest men alive, and I'm sure there's plenty more like him, just because they're stuck with their traditionalist ways. And I'm a traditionalist in some senses, but when it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm very open-minded about that. I'm very optimistic. Some people may say I'm too optimistic. I'm also a little bit of a realist because, hey, I've lost money in the past, so I don't want to repeat the same mistakes. But, there's just a lot of stuff to think about. Regulation, there's some good things to it. There's some bad things. I think Binance will get all of this resolved. It is kind of a coincidence that he left. There's going to be some high turnover sometimes during when times are rough, and especially if we're in a down season. But right now, Bitcoin's actually doing pretty all right. So that's today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, that's always pretty helpful. Bitcoin is at $44,230, and that's pretty crazy. Ethereum is at 3,113, and Bitcoin's past 24-hour high, $44,764, almost $45,000. Yes, we're approaching 50,000, slowly, steadily, but surely. So a lot of excitement right now in the markets. Fear and greed index, we're very greedy. Yeah, maybe we hit 50K, maybe we don't, but whatever happens, we're here to stay. We're here for the long run. So join me in my journey. Tomorrow's my day off, so we might post a fun little video tomorrow, maybe if I go outside. So yeah, thanks so much for almost hitting 1,300 subscribers, and see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe in cryptocurrency, have fun, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
Woo, look at that. Classy. Oh, yeah. I saw the taillights, and you know who came out? A family man. So, oh man, that's classy for sure.